Friends who smile in your face while secretly plotting your downfall are more common than many realize. Recognizing the warning signs of a potentially toxic friendship could literally save your life. Friendships should be built on trust, honesty, and mutual respect. But sometimes, those closest to us harbor dark intentions that go unnoticed until it's too late. The painful truth is that not everyone who claims to be your friend truly wants what's best for you. Some individuals may actually be looking to harm you, even through extreme measures like poisoning. Throughout this video, I'll reveal 5 critical warning signs that your so-called friend might be plotting to poison you. These signs are often subtle, but understanding them could be the difference between life and death. It's crucial that you don't skip any part of this video, as each sign builds upon the previous one to create a complete picture of what to watch out for. If you're short on time, I strongly recommend watching at 1.5 or 2x speed instead of skipping around and missing crucial information that could protect you from these toxic influences. Let's dive straight into the first major warning sign that your friend might have sinister intentions. Have you ever had a friend who seems a little too interested in what you're eating or drinking? I'm not talking about the foodie who loves sharing recipes. I'm talking about something far more concerning. Think about it. Most friendships involve sharing meals and drinks, which is normal. But there's a fine line between, hey, try this amazing cake I baked, and you must try this special tea I made just for you, followed by them staring at you like they're waiting for something to happen. That second scenario, major red flag. When someone is planning to poison you, they often show an unusual level of interest in your consumption habits. They might start asking questions like, what's your favorite drink? Or do you prefer sweet or bitter flavors? These questions may seem innocent, but they could be gathering information. They're not asking because they care about your taste buds. They're figuring out how to mask the taste of something dangerous. Here's where it gets really creepy. A potential poisoner will often insist you try something they've prepared, and not just once. They'll be super persistent about it. Come on, just one sip, or why aren't you eating it? I made it specially for you. If you refuse, they might even get offended or angry, which is totally not normal for a regular friend offering you food. Another huge warning sign is when they watch you eat or drink with unusual intensity, like they're staring at your every swallow, waiting for something. Normal friends don't stare at you while you're consuming something they gave you. That's just weird. In real-life cases, victims often reported that before actual poisoning occurred, the perpetrator repeatedly offered them specific foods or drinks with strange persistence. One woman noticed her coworker would always offer to get her coffee, but only on days when they were alone in the office. When she started refusing, the coworker became visibly upset. Not the reaction of someone who's just being friendly. So why do poisoners act this way? It's all about control and power. By literally putting something inside your body without your knowledge, they feel a sense of control over you. Some enjoy watching the effects take place. It gives them a twisted sense of power. Others might have more calculated reasons, like inheritance, insurance, or removing you as competition for something they want. Let me be clear. Not everyone who offers you food is trying to poison you. But when you notice excessive interest in what you consume, unusual persistence about you trying specific things they've prepared, and intense observation while you eat or drink, those are all major red flags that make up sign number 1 out of the 5 signs your friend might want to poison you. Trust your gut feeling on this one. If something feels off about how interested your friend is in your food and drink, it's worth paying attention to. Your instincts are often your first line of defense. Now, have you ever noticed feeling sick after hanging out with a specific friend? Not just once, but repeatedly? I'm not talking about that one time you both ate questionable sushi. I'm talking about a pattern that happens mainly when you're with them. This second warning sign cuts deep because it often goes unnoticed until significant damage has already occurred. Many victims of poisoning report looking back and realizing there was a clear pattern they had dismissed for months or even years. Let me share something that happened to a woman named Rebecca. She noticed that every time she met her college friend for coffee, she developed severe stomach cramps about an hour later. At first, she blamed it on anxiety or coincidence. But after the 6th time, she started paying attention. The only common factor was her friend's insistence on fixing her coffee with a special sweetener she carried. When Rebecca secretly declined the sweetener one day, she felt fine afterward. That's when she realized something sinister might be happening. The symptoms of poisoning can vary widely depending on what's being used. They might include sudden nausea, dizziness, stomach pain, headaches, unusual drowsiness, or even memory gaps. What makes these symptoms particularly concerning is when they develop after consuming something your friend provided or had access to. Here's the tricky part. How do you know if it's just a coincidence or something more sinister? Start by tracking these occurrences. Keep a simple journal, noting when you feel ill, what symptoms you experience, who you were with, and what you consumed. If you notice a pattern emerging that connects to a specific person, that's when your alarm bell should start ringing. Medical testing is absolutely crucial if you suspect poisoning. Many toxic substances can be detected through blood or urine tests, but timing is critical. Some poisons leave the system quickly, which is why documentation of symptoms and timing can help your doctor know what to look for. I remember reading about a man who noticed he always got extremely tired after having dinner at his brother-in-law's house. He thought it was just a food coma, until his wife pointed out that no one else seemed affected. After keeping track for 3 months, he realized the pattern was undeniable. Medical tests revealed traces of sleeping medication in his system. His brother-in-law had been drugging him to have private conversations with his sister afterward. What's particularly heartbreaking about this warning sign is how many victims gaslight themselves. They think, "My friend wouldn't do this to me," or "I'm just being paranoid." This self-doubt is exactly what poisoners count on. They exploit your trust and make you question your own experiences. The survivors who identified these patterns before serious harm occurred all share one common trait: they trusted their bodies. When something felt wrong repeatedly, they paid attention instead of dismissing it. Remember, this isn't about becoming paranoid about every stomachache. It's about recognizing when illness has a suspicious pattern connected to a specific person in your life. And now you know sign number 2 out of the 5 signs your friend might want to poison you. Unexplained illness patterns after spending time together. Listen to your body. It might be trying to tell you something your mind doesn't want to believe. Now let's dive into something truly fascinating but potentially terrifying about human behavior. Have you ever had a conversation with someone, and they suddenly shared knowledge that made you think, "Wait, why do they know so much about that?" This brings us to sign number 3 out of our 5 warning signs. Unusual knowledge of or access to toxic substances. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to panic if your friend is a nurse, pharmacist, or chemistry professor. These professionals naturally have knowledge about various substances as part of their training. What's concerning is when someone without a professional reason shows an unusual interest or expertise in poisons, toxic plants, or harmful chemicals. Take this real-world example. A woman noticed her roommate, who worked in retail, had suddenly developed an intense interest in mushroom foraging. Nothing strange there, right? Except this roommate specifically kept asking about whether certain highly toxic varieties could be mistaken for edible ones. She would casually drop comments like, "Did you know death cap mushrooms are almost indistinguishable from regular mushrooms? And just a small amount can cause liver failure." When the woman found a mushroom guidebook specifically marked at the pages with the most dangerous varieties, she decided it was time to find new living arrangements. Conversations can reveal a lot about someone's intentions. Pay attention when a friend displays unexpected knowledge about which household items can be toxic. Most people don't know that apple seeds contain cyanide when crushed in large quantities, or that certain houseplants can cause organ failure if prepared in specific ways. When someone without relevant professional background starts sharing this kind of information unprompted, it's worth noting. The internet has made information about toxins more accessible than ever. Your friend might start researching poisons online, watching videos about famous poisoning cases, or joining forums discussing toxic substances. While having an interest in true crime or forensics isn't automatically suspicious, watch for when this interest becomes hyper-focused on methods and effects rather than the investigation or justice aspects. How do you recognize when someone's interest crosses from normal curiosity to concerning obsession? Look for these indicators. They bring up the topic repeatedly without relevant context. They seem more interested in the effects of poisons than prevention. They ask strange questions about your medical conditions that might affect how certain substances would impact you. Or they start collecting materials or plants known for toxic properties. I want you to remember something important. Knowledge itself isn't dangerous. Intentions are. If you found this video valuable so far and want to protect yourself from these hidden dangers, take a second to smash that subscribe button. I share life-saving information like this regularly. And subscribing ensures you never miss crucial warning signs about people in your life who might not have your best interests at heart. The distinction between healthy interest and concerning behavior often lies in context and pattern. A one-time comment about a poisonous plant isn't concerning. The same friend repeatedly bringing up undetectable poisons while having access to your food, that's when your internal alarm system should start blaring. Remember, this third sign becomes especially concerning when combined with the previous signs we've discussed. Knowledge combined with unusual interest in your food and drink, followed by you experiencing unexplained illnesses. That's a dangerous pattern that deserves immediate attention. Trust your instincts when something feels off about someone's interest in harmful substances. Your subconscious often picks up on danger signals before your conscious mind acknowledges them. This awareness could literally save your life. Now, the fourth sign that your friend might be harboring dark intentions is perhaps the most subtle yet deeply troubling of all. Significant changes in their behavior and relationship dynamics with you. These shifts don't happen overnight, but emerge gradually, making them easy to miss until they've become your new normal. When someone plans to harm you through poisoning, their behavior often undergoes a transformation that serves their malicious agenda. They begin to display unusual patterns of interaction that, when viewed collectively, paint a disturbing picture. One of the most alarming behavioral changes is when a friend suddenly works to isolate you from your support network. They might start making negative comments about your other friends or family members. "Don't you think Sarah has been acting weird lately?" Or, "Your mom seems really controlling, don't you think?" These seemingly innocent observations have a sinister purpose: to cut you off from people who might notice your declining health or question your friend's increasing presence in your life. This isolation tactic is devastating because it happens so gradually that victims often believe they're making these decisions independently. By the time you realize what's happening, you may find yourself primarily dependent on the very person who wishes to harm you. Another deeply troubling sign is when a friend begins documenting your deteriorating health to others. They might take photos of you looking unwell or tell mutual friends how concerned they are about your health issues. "Poor thing, she's been so sick lately," they might say with fake concern. What they're actually doing is creating a narrative that explains away the symptoms of their poisoning attempts, while positioning themselves as a caring friend. The psychological manipulation doesn't stop there. Gaslighting becomes their weapon of choice. When you mention feeling ill after eating something they prepared, they might respond, "You're always complaining about feeling sick. Maybe you should see a therapist about your anxiety." These dismissive comments make you question your own perceptions and physical experiences, creating confusion that benefits the poisoner. Perhaps most chilling is when they begin positioning themselves as your caretaker or health advisor. They might suggest supplements or remedies that they claim will help your mysterious symptoms. "I read about this herb that might help your stomach problems," they offer, seeming helpful while potentially introducing something harmful into your routine. This transformation from friend to controller happens incrementally. The person who once respected your boundaries now shows up uninvited when you're sick. The friend who used to celebrate your independence now questions your ability to care for yourself. The relationship that once felt balanced now feels oddly one-sided. with them making decisions about your well-being that you never authorized. What makes this warning sign so important is that it reveals the psychological foundation necessary for poisoning to occur. Someone who respects your autonomy and values your well-being would never consider harming you this way. The control and manipulation are not just side effects, they're essential precursors to the act itself. If you recognize these relationship changes with someone in your life, trust your instincts. Your discomfort is trying to protect you. This doesn't mean you should confront them with accusations, which could be dangerous if your suspicions are correct. Instead, begin creating distance while documenting these behavioral changes alongside any unexplained symptoms. Remember, this is sign number 4 out of the 5 signs your friend might want to poison you. Significant changes in behavior and relationship dynamics that increase their control while diminishing your autonomy and support network. Now, I need you to take a moment to think about the last time someone prepared food or drinks for you. Did they do anything that seemed odd in retrospect? Did they step away with your drink momentarily? Did they insist you take a specific plate or cup? These questions might seem paranoid, but they could save your life. The 5th and final warning sign we need to discuss involves suspicious handling of food and drinks. This sign is particularly important because it often occurs immediately before actual poisoning attempts. Have you noticed a friend who suddenly becomes incredibly insistent about preparing your meals or pouring your drinks? Not just offering occasionally, as good friends do, but almost adamant that you shouldn't do it yourself? There's generosity, and then there's controlling behavior masked as helpfulness. True friends respect your choices about what goes into your body. Consider your own experiences for a moment. Has anyone ever tried to steer you toward specific food or drink items with unusual persistence? No, don't get the pasta. You must try this particular dish. While recommendations are normal among friends, becoming agitated when you don't follow their suggestion about what to consume is not. Even more concerning are the moments of distraction. Think back. Has a friend ever created a reason for you to look away or leave the table while they had access to your food or drink? Perhaps they suddenly point out something interesting across the room or ask you to grab something from another area, leaving your drink unattended. These brief windows provide the perfect opportunity for someone to add something to your consumption. I once heard about someone who noticed their colleague would always offer to watch their coffee when they stepped away for a moment. After several instances of feeling strangely tired after these coffee breaks, they decided to experiment by secretly disposing of the watched coffee and getting a new cup. The symptoms disappeared. This simple observation potentially saved them from escalating harm. What's particularly telling is when someone prepares different versions of the same meal or drink, theirs versus yours. Pay attention if they're drinking from the same bottle but insist on pouring your drink into a specific glass, or if they prepare a dish but serve portions from different sections of the pot. These seemingly small differences could indicate they've prepared a separate, contaminated portion just for you. Reflect on your own dining experiences. Have you implemented basic precautionary measures? Never leaving drinks unattended is advice we often hear regarding public places and strangers, but it applies to private settings and known individuals too. Watching food preparation isn't about distrust. It's about basic safety that applies to everyone. I want you to consider something important. Your safety is not less important than someone else's feelings. Many potential victims ignore warning signs because they don't want to seem rude or paranoid. But protecting yourself is not an insult to others. It's self-preservation. If you recognize any of these behaviors from someone in your life, start by increasing your awareness. Don't immediately confront them, which could escalate the situation. Instead, politely decline food or drinks they prepare, or find natural ways to ensure you maintain control over what you consume around them. Remember, this 5th sign, suspicious handling of food and drinks, completes our understanding of the warning signs that your friend might want to poison you. When combined with the previous 4 signs, it creates a comprehensive picture of behaviors that demand your attention and appropriate response. Your instincts exist to protect you. If something feels wrong about how someone handles your food or drinks, listen to that inner voice. We've journeyed together through the 5 critical warning signs that could literally save your life. Unusual interest in your food and drink, unexplained illness patterns, toxic knowledge, relationship control tactics, and suspicious food handling. These signs don't exist in isolation. They form a pattern of behavior that demands your attention. If you recognize these warning signs in someone you know, remember that your safety comes first. Trust your instincts, because they're often right. Document everything: symptoms, suspicious behaviors, and dates when incidents occur. This record could be crucial if you need medical or legal intervention. When should you involve authorities? If you have concrete evidence of tampering, or if medical tests confirm poisoning, contact law enforcement immediately. Don't confront someone you suspect directly. This could put you in greater danger. Rebuilding trust after experiencing such betrayal takes time. Surround yourself with genuine supporters, and consider speaking with a mental health professional who specializes in trauma and betrayal. The knowledge you've gained today isn't meant to make you paranoid. It's meant to empower you. True friendship is built on mutual respect, care, and goodwill. Most people in your life want the best for you, but knowledge of these warning signs ensures that those who don't can't take advantage of your trust. If you ignore these warning signs after everything we've covered, you're choosing to be vulnerable to people who wish you harm. That's not wisdom, that's willful blindness. You deserve better than to be someone's victim. I can see the algorithm is suggesting another video specifically for you right now. Click on it immediately. YouTube has analyzed what information you need next based on what you've learned here today. That suggested video will build perfectly on these foundations and provide you with the essential tools needed for the next steps in your safety journey. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.